Fade me. Okay. Are we rolling? Okay. Hey there. Welcome to day 10 of Step by Step September. My name is Mary. Today's video is going to be focused on stretching. As we talked about in the first week, when we're incorporating movement into our day-to-day, it's really important to balance things. So add a little bit of strength training, a little bit of cardiovascular movement, and then active recovery like stretching, just to help give our body time to recuperate, recover, and reset for getting back into some of that higher intensity and strength training type stuff. I'm just going to move through the workout, the stretches today. Really appreciate you being here. I hope that you have a really enjoyable stretching session. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, we're going to start in a standing forward fold position. So I'll turn to the side so you can see. I'm just going to hinge forward at the hips, come down toward the floor. You can keep your feet close together if you'd like, or I've got about 2 fist distance between them. I might scoot them. I'm going to scoot them a tad closer together. There we go, just about a fist distance apart. Let your head hang heavy. Yeah, we're just gonna breathe into this position. Feel that stretch along our backs of our legs. If you want, you can clasp opposite hand, opposite elbow, and be in that. Just taking this time to really tend to our bodies, stretch it out a little bit. Hit the reset after a few days of strength and cardio training. You will slowly come out of that. Bend your knees generously and press up to a standing position. I'll go ahead and face you for this next one. We're going to stretch out that IT band. Cross your right leg over your left. And when we're in this position, we have a tendency to roll our hip back. So I've got my left leg in the back. We have a tendency to roll back that way. So we want to straighten up our hips so that they're squared up with the wall in front of us. And then what we'll do is we'll just hinge forward at the hips, come down into a forward fold position, really feeling that stretch on the back leg. So for me, my left leg is in the back. We're feeling that along the outer side of our left leg as well as in the back a little bit. If you wanted to get more of a hamstring type stretch, you could move that right foot further away from your left foot. I'm going to keep my feet closer together because that really enhances that side of my leg stretch. It helps loosen up the muscles along our IT band, which runs from the top of our hip down to our knee. And when those muscles get tight, it really stretches that band and can cause some discomfort. So I want to get those muscles loosened up a little bit. My leg is tight. My right foot is coming up off the floor a little bit, and I'm just going to let that happen. My body's saying that's what it needs, and I'm not going to force it down. Okay, we'll slowly come up and switch sides. Okay, this time I'm crossing my left foot over top of my right. Again, being mindful about keeping my hips in one straight line, kind of square with the wall in front. And we'll hinge forward, come over here. Stretch out the other side. Yeah. This side is less tight than the other, which makes sense. You know, we talked about this a little bit last week, where one side might be a little bit more flexible or have more range of motion than the other, and that is okay. We want to stretch equally on both sides, so that's why we always do each side. Even it out. Again, if you wanted to get more of a stretch in your hamstring, even down into your calf, you could scoot that front foot away from the back foot. So slide your right foot out, or your left foot out from your right foot, but I'm keeping mine close together. Okay, awesome. We'll slowly come up out of that. Then we're gonna come down to the floor into a kneeling position. I'm gonna bring my left foot out in front of my right, sort of into a lunge. A lunge. And lean forward into it and scoot that back leg out some. I'm gonna face you so you can kind of see what I'm about to do here. And we're gonna bring, I brought my left hand inside of my left foot. And I'm just gonna open up that left knee a little bit and feel the stretch here in the inner thigh. And then if you want, you can come down onto your forearms. Come and scoot back a little bit so you can see. Come down onto your forearms if that feels okay to your body. But you can definitely stay up on the palms of your hands if you prefer. This feels really good on both of my hips. Actually, I'm feeling it a little bit on that back hip too, and I don't dislike it. I love stretching. I don't do it nearly as much as I should. I've been really developing a strong habit with it, so I'm getting better at it. I need to start using that language. I'm getting better at stretching. I'm stretching more than I used to. I'm very proud of myself for that. Okay, we're gonna come out of that slowly. So if you're on your forearms, bring your palms back to the floor, bring your left hand back outside of your left foot, and we'll go ahead and switch sides. I'm gonna turn back on my mat here. This time I'm bringing my right foot forward, framing my foot, coming down toward the floor. Right hand inside that right foot. Go ahead and open up that knee a little bit. And again, if it feels good to you, and it's in your practice, go ahead and come down onto your forearms. And we'll just settle into this and just let our body enjoy this type of movement. This one's feeling good too. I don't know about you all, but my hips tend to get really tight. It's probably, I ride a spin bike as part of my movement routine, and I think that's where most of the hip flexor tightness for me comes from, is that. So really, as part of my stretching practice, being intentional about stretching my lower body and tending to that in loving ways. All right, we're gonna go ahead and come out of that. And this time we're gonna come into a plank position because we're gonna do a pigeon stretch, which stretches out our glutes and the outsides of our thighs. So what you do is I'm gonna bring my right foot forward in front. Let me spin around. So just bring it out in front, and you can tuck your heel in towards your body. That helps. The further your foot is away from your body, the more intense the stretch is. So you can bring it in. If you want, you can keep your hands on the floor, and I feel a stretch in my glutes this way. But if it also feels better to you, you can come down. Again, the more distance we create, the more parallel our front leg is to the edge of our mat, the more intense that stretch is going to be. My body doesn't feel like it can go in a full parallel position, so I'm going to tuck it back in just a little bit, and we can kind of relax into it. Some folks find it helpful when they're laying over in this position. If you have a yoga block or a blanket, even a couple of books. If you have some VHS tapes, if you are a child of the 80s or the 90s and you have some VHS tapes from your younger years, you could even stack those up too, and you could rest your head on that. I just dated myself, but that's okay. Shout out to my 80s and 90s cohorts, folks. We don't have any VHS tapes here at our house anymore. We don't have a VHS player either, so. Alright, we'll come up out of that and come back. You can come to a kneeling position or into a plank. I'm gonna stay this way so you can see what I'm doing here, and I'm gonna bring my left foot up and stretch out the other side. I will include in this video, in the videos there are, when I've done an alternate type of movement, I put a little video of that in the corner. I am going to do a video for an alternative stretch for this one if getting down in this pigeon pose, as what the pose is known as, doesn't feel comfortable to you. I'll show you. I'll do one of those that has a different one. It's where we're sitting down, and we can get a similar type of stretch just in a different way. So I'll do that as well. I should have mentioned that to start. Apologize for all the folks who are like, I'm not sure I want to do that particular position. I wish there were a different one to do, so. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and come up out of that. Pressing back up onto that back foot. You can come to your knees or into a plank position. And we're gonna go ahead and come into a kneeling pose, and I will face you. We're just gonna sit back on our feet. I want you to bring your this is my right hand up overhead, and we're stretching out our tricep. And I'm gonna come to the side so you can see, and I'm just got my hand down, just pat myself on the back, and gently gonna grab that right elbow with my left hand, and really feeling a stretch through here. One thing I've noticed with my stretching routine that I'm building into a habit is I've been really intentional about stretching my lower body just because of the biking. And I sometimes forget to do my arms. So in addition to being really mindful, we'll go ahead and come out and we'll switch sides, do the other arm. I'll do my left arm. In addition to being mindful about getting my hips stretched out, it's probably been within the last week or so that I noticed, I'm not really sure I'm doing my arms as much as I could be. So I've also been adjusting that a little bit to make sure I'm getting everything. And that's one thing I love about building habits in a slow, step-by-step process, is that it gives us time to experiment with things and figure out what works, what does not work, and where are some areas that I might be able to make some adjustments, pivot just a little bit to improve things for myself. And so for me, that was recognizing, first, I'm needing to stretch more because my body's in pain. Go ahead and come out of that and get set up for our final movement, which is lovely. It's child's pose. So go ahead and bring your two big toes to touch. I'm bringing my knees as wide as the mat. And we're just going to walk our arms out in front and come to rest. Just bring your head down to touch the floor. Just settle in here. But as I was saying, the first step was recognizing I wasn't stretching as much as my body was needing to reduce pain. Honestly, I was getting some injuries and in quite a bit of pain. And then it was like, my hips are really tight, so being mindful about that. And then this most recent step was recognizing my arms are needing a little more time and attention. And when we're building habits and we're recognizing those small steps we can take forward, those are not shortcomings. Those are not us missing the boat or being off track or anything like that. It's us building habits. It truly is. It's us checking in with our bodies, and we're giving ourselves space and time to try something and then learn a little bit more about ourselves, and then do another thing, continue learning about ourselves in this very intentional and caring way. So as we're moving through this habit building challenge together, if you're noticing things in yourself, just please know that's normal, and it's part of the process, and applaud yourself for it, because that's your self-awareness. We'll go ahead and come up out of that. That's you taking stock of what's going on for you, and that's to be celebrated. That's all we've got for today. I hope that stretch felt as good to you as it did to me. I am excited to see you back here for tomorrow's workout. I hope you have a really wonderful day, or evening, rest of your day. Take kind care of yourself.